They killed. Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my taxes. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, saved facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was designed fire for our babies to pass through. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
If you can hear me loud and clear, type a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, type a 1 in the chat. I see Darius, Most High Christ, Akira, Most High Christ, the water. If you're on Facebook, if you can hear me loud and clear, type a 1 in the chat so I know y'all hear me, please, if you're on Facebook. Right. Shalom, Maria. Let's see who we got in here. Trooper Masha. Yaquar.
Akira, Darius, Nazam, Most High Christ. All right. So look like we good to go. We'll see. All right, let's clap it up. That's right. All right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Yahweh Bahashim. Yahweh Shai Barakatham to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bahashim. Yahweh Shai to the sisters. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Right.
Started out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group or Christian organization, and we teach the truth according to the Bible. And the truth is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. That's the truth, the unadulterated truth. And as time goes on, you're going to realize that the I.S.U.P.K has been the only organization that has consistently said that. More and more evidence is going to come out, and it's going to prove that we were right the entire time. Since 1969, we had it right. You understand? And guess what else we have right? That the Bible says that the white man is the devil.
That's right.
And I don't know about y'all, brother. I watched that body camera footage of the sister Sonia Massey in Springfield, Illinois. And I watched that footage of her get absolutely murdered in her own home, shot in the face and in the chest, in the confines of her own home. And it really brought the point home, not that I needed reminding, but it really brought the point home that how could anybody argue that these people are not the devil? Seriously. How could anybody try to argue that the white man is not the devil? You watch that body cam footage of how they gunned down that sister, that beautiful sister who was in need of help and assistance, and she thought she could trust in America. She thought she could trust in our oppressor. And what our people don't realize is spiritually, we are all Sonia Massey. If you're gearing up to vote, spiritually, what happened to Sonia Massey is going to happen to you. And Lord allow, not even physically, because it could be physically as well. Shalom, Shariah Yaquar. You understand? Shalom, Kev. That's right. And they lied about it too. When I say spiritually Sonia Massey, I mean that sister, she needed help. You understand? She needed protection, and she should have got help and protection. And our people are in the same state. We need help. We need protection. And Sonia Massey, she called on the people who were supposed to protect her, or who she thought was supposed to protect her. She relied on America, and America failed her. America turned its back on that sister, and it killed her. And that's spiritually what's happening to, spiritually and physically, what's happening to our people. That's a microcosm of our relationship in this place. We have leaned on America. We have trusted in America. And every single time we get harmed, we get the short end of the stick. At what cost to you will you learn that you cannot trust America? You cannot have faith and rely on a politician. At what point, what more has to happen? Does it have to be your daughter next? Does it have to be your son next? Who we saying say their name? Does it have to be one of your children or your mother and father or somebody that you care for that we see on a video being killed? What has to happen for us to really understand? We have to take our spirit out of this place. And I'm quite afraid, Shabbat, that really for many of our people, it won't happen until it hits their doorstep. And you shouldn't be like that. If you're the type of person that you can't feel something unless it happens to you, you'll just be forced to feel everything. That's just what happens. If you're the type of person that you can't feel and understand until it hits your doorstep, then you'll be forced to understand and feel everything. Go ahead, Shapat.
I believe that it's how you say. I believe they call that learning the hard way.
Learning the hard, the water, priest. Learning the hard way. Perfect example. White people, when they seen blacks and Hispanics strung out on crack, they demonized us. They had no compassion for us. They could not feel what we were going through, and they did not care. You know what had to happen? It took for their children dying in mass numbers from opiates. You understand? And what they call the opioid crisis. It took for them to feel what it's like to now start to do things and look at things differently. Don't be like our oppressor. Don't wait until it has to happen to you to feel and understand. You should look at these police killings and you should say to yourself, that is me. That is my mother. That is my sister. That is my auntie. And I should do the things that the Lord want us to do so that this will never happen again. I got you already, priest. The water. They right here. I'm gonna grab the water. That's what we should do. You understand? We should look at these things and say, we should learn from this. Just say, yeah, if you could, I could shot the water, priest. Right? Before we get started, you understand? I'm precinct officer 5,000, Kazak Ahmad. I got precinct officer 500, Shapat Dayak, rocking and rolling with me.
Right.
You understand? This is I.S.U.P.K, Washington, D.C. And tonight is a Tuesday night brotherhood class. And the topic of tonight's class is the manipulation and mass hysteria of politics. The manipulation and mass hysteria of politics. You understand? If you haven't done so already, y'all make sure you like and share the stream. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button, like the stream, and share the stream. You understand? Shalom, Mario, I see you, brother. You understand? Adolphus Last, I see you, brother. What has to happen is that black people, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Shalom, just art and paint, we have to completely change our perspective. We have to completely change our mentality, and we have to completely change our behavior. And once again, I'm not blaming that's what happened to that sister on that sister. That's America's fault. First, that's the white man from him being the devil, and then it's the Christian pastor's fault. Does anybody know what she said that caused the officer to get angry? Anybody know? That sister Sonia Massey. And does anybody know what exactly it was that she said that caused the officer to shoot her? You may have had to watch the video. Go ahead, Shapat.
I believe she said something like I'm gonna pray for you or something. It was something that like I feel sorry for you, I pray for you or something like that.
Close. Shalom, sis. There is a la'a. Just our paint said rebuke.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Adolphus Last said something about God. I see y'all didn't watch the video yet. Officer Nwanyala said, I'm sorry. She said, I'm sorry after he pulled out the gun, Nwanyala. But she said that caused him to draw his weapon and shoot her was, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That's what that sister said. She said it in response to the officer insinuating that the sister was going to throw the pot of boiling water on the officer. And if you didn't grow up in a Christian household, that phrase in that situation may not even fit. But because I grew up in a super Christian household, and how she talks is how my mother speaks. But so I understood exactly what she was saying. You understand? I understood exactly the context of how she was saying it. You understand? The officer told her, go to the kitchen and take the pot off the stove so it doesn't cause a fire. She went and she did that. The officer that was closest to the kitchen started to move away. Now, the sister asks, where are you going? Why do you think she would ask the officer, where are you going? As she's taking the pot off the stove. I want us to walk through this because you would be so surprised about what these devils are saying online. So I want to make sure everybody fully understands the thought process, because maybe you've never grown up with a Christian mother or around Christian women, or maybe you've just never been in this situation. Why do you think this sister asked the officer, where are you going, when he walked away from the kitchen when she grabbed the pot? Shapat?
Because she wondered why, is he thinking that I'm gonna hurt him or something like that?
Right. You see, that's common sense. You see how we was able to understand that? That's common sense. Shalom Aidana, Shalom Shapara. She said he became accusatory. Yes, that's why. For him to even walk away from the kitchen while she went to go grab the pot off the stove like they told her to is a accusatory gesture. You know what that's like? I'm gonna give y'all an example of what that's like. When he walked away from the kitchen, when she went to go grab the pot, is no different than a white woman locking her door when we walk by. It's no different than a white woman crossing the street or clutching their purse when they see one of us. It's the same spirit. It's like, what the hell? What's that for? Like, I know you lying. Like, what you grabbing your purse for when I walk by? It offends you. And any black person that's watching this, that ever had that happen to them in real life, don't act like it's not going to offend you. Because everybody knows the first time it happens to you, or it could be any time it happens, it offends you. It offends you. And what that officer did to the sister, insinuating he walking away as if his life or he's in danger, it offended the sister. Because clearly she had no intent on harming the officer, the same way most of us have no intent on stealing the white woman's purse. So it offended her. And then she asked him, where are you going? And he said, away from the boiling hot water. And then she responded with, she said, oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. She said that like, okay, that's the Christian version of, I know you effing lying. You understand? I know you effing lying. Be for real. That's the Christian version. And once again, if you didn't grow up in a Christian house, it might sound strange. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That's just how black Christian women talk. That's what she was saying. When she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, she did not in no way threaten any of those officers. She did not in any way challenge those officers. She was pretty much saying, like, you are wrong. And you out your mind to now act like I'm getting ready to do something to you. Like, no. I rebuke that. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And because she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, that officer got extremely angry and unhinged and pulled out his service weapon and said, I will shoot you in your effing face. And of course, the sister put the pot down. She apologized, and it wasn't good enough. And he reached over the counter with his firearm and he shot her in the face. One bullet went through her eye, through her head, and 2 in her chest. You understand? Just Arden Paint said, Shalom, halak, I see you. She said, because she knew he was being accusatory, she wouldn't dare do that. Exactly. That's exactly the whole, if you can understand what was happening. The only reason why I'm breaking this down, because there were a lot of our people as well that couldn't understand, why would she say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus right there? Like, to them, it didn't make sense how that fit in. So I just want to explain that to those of us that may not have been accustomed to church jargon. You understand? Churchy phrases and what they mean and how they're used. You understand? Also, the one y'all said, down here in Florida, there's a Arab corner store at every corner store on every corner. And once I walk in, they eye me down if I have a bag. They tell me, put it by the door. That right there offends me every time until I stop. That's the same type of gesture. To be prejudged, to be stereotyped, for people to not give you the benefit of the doubt. This is the same woman that when the officers got there, she said, thank y'all. I love y'all. And in their mind, this woman is still a threat to them because she's black. Do y'all honestly think they would have responded that way if that was a white woman? That's the question that I've been asking anybody online. Do you honestly think they would have responded that way if that was a white woman? They would have let that white woman grab that pot of boiling water and walked all throughout the house. Why she's talking to them? But because she was a black woman, surely she's up to no good. Surely she's dangerous. Go ahead, Shapak.
I mean, why even tell her to turn it off in the first place? That's her house. She cooking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why you got to tell her what to do in her house on her stomach? That's what started the whole thing.
Right. The entire process, if you watch the full body cam video, the entire time, the officer was annoyed from the beginning. Even when he was knocking on the door, he had an attitude that in his mind, she took too long to come to the door, even though she called them because she thought there was an intruder. Shapara said, make perfect sense. Damn devil, you ain't lying. Shalom, Nayam, I see you, sis. Maria said, hell no. Shapara said, absolutely not. Just Sergeant Payne said, due to being stereotyped. Right. She said the first mistake was inviting them inside. I want to touch on this real fast. We're going to go into the politics, but I want to touch on this because it's being discussed a lot on social media and it's relevant, right? Get me, Shapata, if you could. Psalms chapter 109. And let's start at verse. You start at verse 1.
Book of Psalms, chapter 109, verse 1. Hold not thy peace, O God of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue.
The mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful have spoken against me. That's the condition of black people and Hispanics and Native Americans. What did Donald Trump say about the Hispanics? They're bad hombres. They're drug dealers. They're rapists. Was it a Hispanic man that shot Donald Trump in the ear? What does America say about black men and black people in general? That we're violent. We're super predators. You can't trust us. Was it a black man that shot Donald Trump? They speak lies against our people. They speak lies against us and all types of deceits, and it's because they are the wicked. Keep reading.
Oh, God. They compassed me about also with words of hatred and fought against me without a cause.
They compass. The word compass means to circle, to encircle somebody or surround. This is saying that our enemies surround us and they speak words of hatred while they surround us. You understand? And then what does it say after that? After they compass me?
Okay. And fought against me without a cause.
And fought against us without a cause. That sister did nothing to deserve what happened to her. Nothing. That sister did absolutely nothing to deserve what happened to her. And brother, I can't even get as angry as I want to because I'm so drained. I'm so drained going back and forth and explaining. You know what this was like for me? This was 2016 or 17 when Philando Castile was killed. And brother, it absolutely changed my life. It was one of the main things that brought me into the school. Watching that body cam footage of Philando Castile being shot dead in front of his rib and his daughter in the back seat. And then his rib not being able to comfort her man in his last moments while he's sitting there choking and gurgling. And then the daughter having to comfort the mother. Brother, this is what this reminds me of. And if any of you are watching, you should see this and feel exactly what I felt with Philando Castile and what I feel now. You should feel that that is you, because it could absolutely be you, and it will be you if you don't come in here. Go ahead, Shapat.
Salaki is heavy how you say it with the scripture. You know, fought against us without cause, you think of slavery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we never did anything to them for them to do the things that they did to us.
Right.
We never gave them a cause to do that.
Right.
You know, tired to bring it in the modern terms. They want us to forget about slavery, because if we forget about, if we're not talking about slavery, then we might not think about how the fact that they still doing it today, like they did with Sonya Massey.
That's right. That's why they didn't want us to talk about slavery, because when you really start talking about slavery and going into the history, what you'll realize is not too many things are different. Not too much has changed outside of the physical chains and the physical yokes. But when you look past that, we are living in the exact same system that existed in slavery. We're living with the exact same violence, the exact same hatred, the exact same racism. And Sonya Massey lost her life for no reason. She did nothing to deserve that. Keep reading.
Okay.
If you just tuning in, or if you haven't done so yet, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and that share button, man. Like and share. You are failing to do your job if you can't at least push the truth. Just imagine if Sonya Ross was able to see one of these classes. That's the part that hurt my heart, for real, for real. We're not working hard enough. And I don't want nobody to get offended for what I'm about to say. I'm just telling you my own personal, I normally don't do this, but I'm saying my own personal thoughts. I could feel a little bit better if she died, if she was murdered and she didn't tell those devils, I love you. I could feel better if she died, but she knew they were the devil. Like that, to me, it wouldn't hurt so much if it was like she knew they was devils and she died just knowing. See, I knew it. I was right. You're devils and you do what devils do. That sister died believing that they were there to help her, to save her, and that they loved her the way she loved them. And that lets me know we are not working hard enough, because that sister should have known these two devils are devils. She should have known it. She should have known it from the moment she dialed 911 and seen two white faces. She should have known these people are not here to save me. These people do not love me. We have to share these classes. We have to push this truth. Just imagine how a class could have changed her entire perspective about the situation. Just imagine. You understand? Like, it could have changed the way she viewed the whole thing if she came across one of you brothers teaching the white man is the devil and never trust thine enemy. It would have saved her life. Go ahead, Shapa. Your hand was raised.
I'm not lying.
Oh, Salagi. Right? Akira said, that's how I felt too, sir. She didn't even know, and they showed her just who they are. Right. Matayah said they needed a just cause for the crimes they do. Shalom, Kawana. I see you, sis. Also, the one y'all said, I agree. Kev said, never trust thine enemies. That's right. Let's keep reading what we got.
Oh, God. For my love, they are my adversaries, but I gave myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good.
They have rewarded me evil for good. This sister showed nothing but love for these devils, and they didn't deserve it. She said out of her own mouth, I love y'all. Thank y'all. She showed nothing but gratitude and love for these devils, and they returned that love and that good with evil. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. She let them in her house. You understand? She didn't give them a hard time. She wasn't irate like many white women would be if they think somebody was trying to break into their home. You think if a white woman called the police because she thought somebody was breaking into her home, she would have been as polite? Nah. She would have cussed the police out. She would have said they're not doing their job. She would have gave them a hard time. That sister didn't give them a hard time. You understand? She cooperated as much as she possibly could up until the point of her death. They returned good for bad. Keep reading.
Oh, God. and hatred for my love.
And hatred for our love. She showed nothing but love. Nothing but love. And they returned to her hatred. When are we going to learn that you cannot love our enemy? When the Bible says love your enemy, it's not talking about the white man. You Christians have been lying. You pastors have been lying forever and teaching us to love our enemy when the enemies is not referring to white people. When it says love your enemy, it's talking to Israelites amongst fellow Israelites. Here's the proof. Nobody had to teach that sister to love white people. No, she just knew to love white people. You do have to teach us to love each other. When it says love your enemies, it's talking about Israelites loving Israelites. Furthermore, if you believe that God is saying love white people when it says love your enemy, why would God tell us to love somebody he doesn't love?
Right.
God doesn't love white people. So why would he tell us to love them when he doesn't love them? He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that at all. When it says love your enemies, it's talking about our people. You understand? They are our enemy. They are our enemies. You understand? And they are our enemies because they hate us. We don't hate them. We've done nothing to them but try to get along and be peaceful and love them and serve them. And we pray to their Jesus. And all they have done is hated us more and more and more. Shalom, Arawadia. Maria's Kev said, I wonder if she said they were the devil the Bible speaks of, she'd still be alive. Brother, I'm willing to bet she would be alive if she called them the devil. There's something about Esau, this from my experience. Now, I'm not saying that what happened wouldn't have happened. I would like to believe in my mind, that if she just would have called them the devil, it might have changed things. Well, who knows, man? Who knows? The devil, it's not going to change them from being the devil.
Right.
You understand? So they probably would have still done what they have done. And I think it's kind of good that she didn't call them a devil, because could you imagine how much everybody would try to justify her being killed? Everybody, imagine, there's white people, right? Shalom, I.S.U.P.K. There's white people right now that are saying that it was her fault she got killed. Could you imagine if she actually called them a devil? Oh, brother, in America's mind, she deserved it at that point. Read what you got, please.
Okay. Set thou a wicked man over him.
Set thou a wicked man over him. This is the prayer that we have. We're going to come back to that part because I want to read that at the end. You understand? If you have any questions, type your questions in the chat. Mathias says, Slager, sir, don't they have 3 alternatives of force before resulting in deadly force? Yes. What's the point of you spending all that goddamn taxpayer money on police equipment? You got a whole Batman utility belt of weapons. You got OC spray. You have a baton. You have a taser. You have what else you have? It's other little knickknacks I've seen officers have. Some officers got the baton, the nightstick, the bloody knuckles, not the bloody knuckles, the brass knuckles. You got an array of weapons on that utility belt, but you always go to kill because that's who you are. You're not a police officer to uphold law and order. You're a police officer to uphold the American way. And the American way is we have to die and suffer in order for this place to keep going. And I know that's hard for you uppity Negroes to believe. A lot of you getting ready to vote. You get so ready to vote as if you are a part of this place. Let me help you. If you're getting ready to vote or you think your vote matters, do you really think you're a citizen? You talking about voting for a politician as if you think you're one of them. That's what it is. You think you're an American citizen. You think you have the same rights. You think you have the same protections under the law. You're a dummy. You're the worst of dummies. Sonia Massey was an American citizen and got treated how the Israelis are treating the Palestinians. She got treated how you would treat a foreign national, an enemy on your soil. She was treated like an enemy behind enemy lines. She wasn't treated and given the same protections and rights as an American citizen. She was treated as if she had no rights. She wasn't even human. Shell said all of our people love to vote. We'll get into that in just a second. You understand? You think you got the same rights and protections. How slow can you be? How slow can you be? We don't have the same experience in America as everybody else. Our lives are not the same as everybody else. What is voting going to do for Black people, for Hispanics and Native Americans? Go ahead, Shapat.
Same thing it did in the civil rights time.
Nothing. I made a post and some broad got on there and said, you must don't pay property taxes because you would know who to vote for. Sis, property taxes are not our problem. We have real problems. Type a 1 or 2 in the chat. Now, this is what we're going to do. I want to take a survey. Here's the first poll. Type a 1 in the chat if you've ever been affected by property taxes. Type a 1 in the chat if you've ever been affected by property taxes. Type a 2 if you have not. Now tell the truth now. If you have, type 1 so I can know. I want an honest reaction. I want an honest response so I can know what we're working with. Type a 1 if you've ever been affected by property taxes. Type a 2 if you have not. So we got the 2 coming in. Arawadi said he hasn't. Kev hasn't. Akira said 2. I paid him, didn't affect me none. 2. Dr. J. Smithers said irrefutable lost sheep. Darius said 2. Maria said 2, and we still paying them. Yeah, see, we like to pick and choose issues that affect white people, but really mean nothing in our community. Property taxes is not an issue. It's not an issue in a Black and Hispanic household. You understand? Like that's not whether or not it's expensive or low. That's not our issue. You know what is an issue? Type a 1 in the chat if you have been directly or indirectly affected by child molestation. And when I say indirectly, meaning a family member you know, a parent, directly if it's you. You don't have to specify which one. Just type a 1 in the chat if you've been directly or indirectly affected by child molestation. Type a 2 if you have not. Akira put 1. Shalom, Akal Sapar. I see you, mighty man. I want everybody to be honest. Be honest. Kev said he has not. Most High Christ. As far as you know. Or Water said he has not. Shapar, she has. Shell has not. Makaya. Darius, Akal Sapar said he has not. Maria said 1. And she said, and if property tax was the first thing she can think of, she needs to listen to I.S.U.P.K and get her eyes open. Oh, for sure. That's all that's like property tax. What are we talking about? Here's the reality. And I'm not saying that those that said 2 are lying. You are only going off of what you know. Majority of us, when I say majority, all of us, and I can say all with about a good 8 out of 10 confidence. All of us have been affected by child molestation directly or indirectly. Many of our parents were molested and never told you. Many of your parents were molested and they just never told you. There's a reason why your mother moved the way she did or your father was the way he was. You understand? Many of your siblings or cousins were molested, and you just never knew. This is something that happens so frequently, but it's kept so quiet amongst us, and it's disgusting. That's a real issue in our community. Micaiah said once, she said, I paid the property taxes, but the government still make us live paycheck to paycheck. Right. How come you've never heard a politician talking about ending child molestation? You've never heard that. Because one, that's a real issue that requires actual change. See, the thing is, politicians don't ever talk about fixing real problems, because the game of politics is not about fixing anything. The game of politics is about the illusion and the whole race of winning. That's what it's all about. It's not about actual change. And if you weren't such a slave and mentally, you can be able to look at that and see it for what it is. Politics has nothing to do with benefiting the country and making America better. It's all about who can get the power, who can get the money. And in order to get that power and money, I have to say and do things and make promises that I don't really agree to or believe, so I can win. Mariah said one. That's why you never hear a politician talking about ending child molestation, ending domestic violence, ending single parent homes. There are real issues that plague us that we could be talking about. And yet you somehow fall for the game, the whole mass hysteria of the white man's issues. You let the white man put on you his concerns when his concerns are not our concerns. I'm not concerned about immigrants coming over here. I could give a damn who comes over here, because nothing is going to change for me. Right. Who cares? Let whoever wants to come over here, let them all over here. What's going to change for me? They taking anything from what do we have that they taking? What do we have that anybody else could possibly take? We don't have anything. Everybody else has a stake in our community already. Everybody else are. So what are we talking about? But what it is you are so invested in this place. You're a slave. And when master has a code, you cough. That's what it is. So you look at politics, you get swept into the programming, into believing now that master's problems is the slave's problem, when it's not. As a slave, if master's house burns down, if it don't burn down, they make me none. You understand? Go ahead, Shapop.
You still gonna have to even rebuild it or tend to it. It don't matter.
It don't matter. You understand? If master house burned down, if it don't burn down, if master gets sick, choosing who's going to be in charge of the plantation, it doesn't matter. And that's what voting is. You understand? Voting is the illusion of you now choosing a different slave master. It means nothing. It does nothing. And nothing is going to change in our community. Nothing. There's going to be more police killings. You understand that that's never going to stop. There's going to be still poverty. Once again, the fact that we got to explain this lets you know how mentally and spiritually destroyed we are. You understand? If you could, Shapot, getting me Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14. Shell said, I was telling my coworker that he a Trump supporter. He was saying Kamala Harris is not going to do anything for us Negroes. And he's a dummy if he thinks Donald Trump is going to be any different than Kamala Harris. He's a dummy. We got a community full of dummies because you follow the white man. Why do you think any politician is going to do anything for us? And once again, I always ask this question. If you are voting and you really have faith in a politician doing anything, answer me. Name a president that has done anything for blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans before. That's all I want. If you believe that Kamala Harris or Donald Trump is going to do anything for us, surely they can't be the first. So name me a president that has done anything for black people beforehand. Go ahead, Shapa.
Trump.
You said Trump?
Trump. You know why? Because his outright racism and antagonizes America's real racism. And America shows how racist they are. And we actually a little bit more bond together. That's the only thing I can say for Trump. Other than that, he knew to do better for it.
Well, that's the perspective of being in the truth. And you absolutely correct. You understand? Trump did more for the truth than anything. Because of his blatant racism, it helped a lot of you, it scared a lot of you Negroes into coming in here. But from a person outside of the truth, what has Trump or any president done for our people? And this is why I love to hear you uppity Negroes. Look at the black and Hispanics that always like to talk about politics. You want to see a Israelite with low self-esteem? Look at any of our people that is really heavy into politics. I'm talking about they make it their business to know about the policies and stuff like that. They are only into those politics so heavy because there's something in them that makes them feel like they have to know what's going on with Esau. Let me slow down. Explain the psychology of it. Which slave would know more about master? Oh, give him a chance, Shapa. I gotta make it real plain. It makes sense in my mind, but I gotta make it plain so everybody can follow me. Type in the chat, which slave would know more about the master? Darius said none, they were all the same. I mean, got that earlier. Shell said Harriet Tubman. No, I'm talking about a particular slave. There we go. Mataya got it. Darius got it. A house nigga. The house slave. The slave that's the closest, that's around the master the most, that's among him would know more about him. That's why, that's right, Kawana. You understand? That's why Akira, the one in the bed with him. That's why whenever you meet any of our people that's real heavy into politics and believes in politics, those are the worst of us. Because they are close. They have made themselves close to our oppressor. That's right, Shapar, the house slave. You understand? Ryan Moore said, be grateful. Be grateful. What? Go in Trump we love. You got to learn how to type, my guy. That's the problem with you Trump supporters. A lot of you are very uneducated. You understand? And I ain't saying I'm the smartest nigga. You understand? I'm a slow cat. I'm slow and I do the best that I can. You know, and I read as much as I can, so I'm not as slow. But I'm able to recognize a lot of you Trump supporters are very uneducated, and it's embarrassing. You should retype whatever the hell you was trying to say, Ryan. Go ahead, Shapat.
It's like they all just came out of the woods somewhere.
That's what it seemed like, brother. And I hate that stereotype is for y'all, because really Trump supporters, there is no box to racism.
Right.
You understand? And I hate that whenever we think of racist white people, we think of hillbillies. No. That's not the case. Racist white people come in every sector of society, from your highly educated doctors, your highly educated professors and teachers and scientists, all the way down to your Ryans, your Ryan Moores, your good old swamp people. You understand? That make a living on catching the alligators. Go ahead, Shapat.
We can start at the top. The president, Trump.
Forget about it. You understand? We can start at the head. That's right, Awadi. Very illiterate. Shell said they are all dumb. Maria said no president has made a difference for us. There would have been a difference by now. It's all about them having some power some way, somehow. That's the point. That is the point. And the fact that we have to always talk about this every election season, it disturbs me. Read what you got. We're going to come back to it. Read what you got, Shapat.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, with verse
2 and 14.
2 and 14. Is Israel a servant?
Is Israel a servant? Ryan said, always crying, grow up or leave the country. In the almighty Trump we trust. Oh, I love to hear that. Oh, I love that you talking that good talk now. In the almighty Trump we trust. Hold what you got, your pot. Give me Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 7. Obadiah 1, start at 6.
Book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 6.
Start at verse 1 so everybody can know what we're talking about. We're going to run this down for them.
Book of Obadiah, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord concerning Edom.
Concerning Edom. Edom is the forefather of the so-called white race. Excuse me, Ryan, your people. You understand? Esau is the progenitor of who we call the Caucasians, the white race today. They're not really white, they're red. And that's what the word Edom and Esau refers to. You understand? Keep reading.
Oh, God. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Keep reading.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
This is talking about white people. You understand? When you really look at the geography, the demographics of the world, of these populations on the earth, white people are not the majority. Anybody want to take a guess why you believe white people are the majority? I'll be surprised if somebody get this right. It's one word. It's one word. Anybody want to take a guess? Why do you think most people believe that white people are the majority on the earth? One word. Go ahead, Shapap.
Let me answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fear.
Okay, that's a good word. But the word I'm looking for encapsulates that and other things. Akira said power. That's a good word. Kev said the military. That's a good word. Kawana said power as well. Mathias said oppression. All those are good answers. It goes into the topic of the class. One word. Why people believe that white people are the majority. You got to remember that's a fairly recent phenomenon to believe that white people are the majority on the earth. Or why they said supremacist. That's a good word. Shapat. Government. Okay. What is Esau's specialty, y'all? Come on, man. What is Esau's specialty?
Oh,
Shapat.
lies.
Lies. In other words, propaganda. Hollywood. That's right, Maria. We've been manipulated to think so. It goes into the topic of the class. Hollywood. Propaganda. You could have said either one of those. Deception, the water, manipulation. Those are words I'm looking for. One word. Manipulation, deception, lies, propaganda. That's all the same thing. Hollywood sums all that up. Hollywood is why you believe that white people are the majority on the earth. The way white people are portrayed, it's very strategic. It's very intentional. The Last Samurai, all the way in Japan, is a white man, Tom Cruise. The Martian, Mark Wahlberg, all the way out of space, the white man. Tarzan, a man that was raised in the jungles of Africa and can relate with animals, a white man. Esau inserts himself, Jesus Christ, forget about it.
Right.
The greatest man that ever walked the face of the earth, Jesus Christ. They portray him as a white man. Esau inserts himself into all these stories all over the world, and he has lied about who he is and what he has done, and he's lied so much about history. And because of it, the imagery and the movies and the shows and the media has painted this illusion that they're everywhere, that they feel the earth and they're everywhere, when in reality, Esau is the minority on the earth. They're small. They're not. White people are not the majority on the earth. That's not true. That's far from the truth. They are the minority. They're very small. You understand? They're very small. The Bible says this. Go ahead, Shapa.
And it's hard for them to have children.
Even that alone is just the proof. They don't even have the same birth rates as other nations. There's a book called The Birth Dearth. You understand? It's a book you can read. It's a good book to read. It's called The Birth Dearth. The word dearth is spelled like hearth, but with a D. The Birth Dearth. And that book is taught. This book came out in the 80s. And it's white geneticists and biologists and anthropologists talking about how if white people want to maintain their supremacy and superiority, they have to have more children because all of the European nations' birth rates are declining. This was happening back in the 80s. They understood that back in the 80s. And because they're already the minority, they cannot afford not to have kids less than everybody else. Princess Michael said, deceiver. They're small. They're not. Shalom, Princess Michael. See you too. Derry said, like General Yahanna said, in the alt, the white man has manipulated the black man for years. Exactly. Their whole program is not based off of what's true. It's based off of lies. It's based off of deception and illusions. You understand? Shell said, what you saying is going over Ryan's head. He still doesn't understand. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure. But if he was a smart white man, he would sit and listen and get something in that head of his. Because I'm about to show him what awaits for him and his almighty Trump. You understand? Esau is small on the earth and they're greatly despised. Esau is despised everywhere on the earth. Once again, you believe white people are loved because everybody is trying to look like them. That's not love. That is simply the byproduct of their programming. You understand that whole wanting blonde hair and blue eyes is not because people believe that's beautiful naturally. People believe that's beautiful because of propaganda, because of what they have been fed, what they have been manipulated to believe. But because of that, nations despise Esau. Go ahead, Shapai.
And Salaki, the only reason why they would even want to look like them is because the white man has a way of displacing you or keeping you out of certain areas and places if you don't fit his criteria. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He looks like, dresses like, this, that, and the third.
That's right. You understand? Kev said that's why they get our men and women to marry and have kids to stay alive. Forget about it. And many of you brothers fall for it. Now, if you're a sister and you have kids with a white man, you just helping him. You are helping him further his lineage because those are melanated devils. On topic, just like Kamala Harris. We're going to get into that in just a second. We're at 8:01. Okay, I still got good time. I'm on good time. So let's keep reading what you got, Spot, please.
Okay.
If you haven't done so, y'all, like and share the stream. Let's push these classes. You don't know whose life you might save by them just tuning into this class, man. I always think if that sister would have tuned in to one class, would she have known these people are devils? Or at least had a second thought about it, like, these cats is not here for me. Like, who's to say, man? We would never know because she's gone now. She's not here and she won't be here with us because she was murdered in cold blood. If you on YouTube, come over to Facebook and hit that thumbs up on Facebook. If you on Facebook, come over to YouTube and hit the thumbs up on YouTube, man. And it ain't gonna hurt you to exit the screen and hit the thumbs up. Like and share. Like and share. That's all we can do is push the truth and keep teaching. That's the way we fight. We can't fight the way Esau fights. We don't storm the Capitol and shoot and assassinate presidents. That's not how we fight. That's how they fight. The way we fight is to follow what Christ said and follow what Christ did. And this is what Christ did right here. This is why they feared him. If you understood what we're doing right now is why Christ got killed, you would understand how powerful this is. This is powerful. This is the solution. And this is what they've always feared. It's for us to be doing right now. It's for us to be teaching. You should push this, man. Go ahead, Shapai.
It's like, was that his mug shot we took that last night?
Which one?
When he showed her and him beside each other.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's his mug shot.
Yep.
No side crack.
Yeah. He got fired and he's being charged. We're gonna see how that panned out. I'm curious to see how this all pans out. I'm definitely gonna be following this real close. I'll keep reading what you got, please.
Come, sir. Verse 3. Book of Obadiah, verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
This is for Ryan. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. You said, can nobody touch the Almighty? You gave Trump the title as if he was a god.
Right.
Can nobody touch the Almighty Trump? The pride of your heart have deceived you. You really believe it. That's the beautiful thing about Esau. He's so good at lying, brother. He believed the lies he told.
Right.
Some of I used to be like that. I used to be a good liar. I used to lie in the world, brother. I used to just lie just because. And it got so bad that I will forget what was the truth or not. I would be like, damn, that really didn't even happen. But I'm telling it like it happened. I would believe my lies. And when you get to that point, brother, you're in a bad place. You are in a bad place when you start to believe your own lies. That's Esau. He has lied so well. He has believed himself.
Right.
He believes that nobody can bring him down. He believes that nobody can destroy him and that nobody can defeat him and that they will always remain on top. They believe that. In their hearts of hearts, they believe that. And Ryan Moore, his comment is proof. They believe that Trump didn't get killed by the assassin's bullet because God preserved him, because God is with Donald Trump, because God is with America. And God is going to be with America in all the wars and all the conflicts. And America is going to reign victorious in everything because God is with America. The pride of your heart have deceived you. Keep reading.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
That's for anybody that always try to say that Esau is the Arabs. You got any fake Israelites or unlearned Christians trying to teach you that Esau is the Arab or Esau is anybody other than a white man? That's a lie. Esau is the white man. That's who Esau is in the Bible. The proof of this is Obadiah. Who else was known as being the caveman outside of the white man? It's Esau. He's the caveman. He's the one that dwelt in the clefts of the rocks. Keep reading.
Come. Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
His habitation is high. And they say in their hearts, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's what they're feeling right now, brothers and sisters. That officer that shot and killed Sonia Massey, the only way you can be able to do something like that is if you feel what this is saying. He felt in his heart that he won't get in trouble. He can't be brought down. That's the only way you can be able to do something like that. It's for you to feel that much pride that you are untouchable, that you cannot be judged. You won't ever be brought to justice. Who can bring me down? Can you imagine how much more he's been doing before that for him to have built that pride? This is who it's talking about, man. It's talking about our oppressor, and they believe that nobody can bring them down, that America is going to last forever, and America is going to be in charge, and this nation will rule the earth the way it's been ruling the earth. Micaiah said, Edomites sleep with animals. That's how you know they're a caveman. Shell said and walked to all fours and had tails. Yeah, you see, Esau, he's a beast. You understand? To keep it short and sweet, Esau is a beast. He's not like us. And the Bible calls him the devil. You understand? He's a caveman, a Neanderthal, the whole nine. Keep reading.
Okay. Like my man. And I seen a post not too long ago where you know the white man always trying to say we look like monkeys.
Yeah.
Where they actually put a monkey's face, the side of the face, and showed his lips. How he has thin lips. A monkey has thin lips.
Yeah.
Not full lips like we have. They got lips like a white man, and they showed the side peripheral view. I mean, you know, the side view of them, and the monkey looks like the white man.
I got two photos like that saved in my phone from years ago. I loved it because for as long as I can remember, somehow we've been associated with monkeys. When monkeys don't look like us, we don't look like monkeys. You look at a so-called oppressor, they have the so-called physical characteristics that look like monkeys. Like you said, monkeys don't have beautiful full lips like blacks and Hispanics. Monkeys don't have wide noses like we do. And the monkeys, they look more like monkeys than we do. You understand? So for white people that want to hold on to that stereotype, you know, you might want to let that one go. Go ahead, Shapar, keep reading.
Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
This is what the Lord is talking to Esau. Once again, anybody that believes that Esau is not the white man, this whole chapter is reiterating that he is the white man, because all these things fit the white man. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. You look at all of Esau's major empires, their symbol was the eagle. America's symbol right now is the bald eagle. If you ever go to a post office, you look on top of that flagpole, there's an eagle. I don't know if the new mail trucks have them. I know them old mail trucks used to have an eagle on it. You understand? I don't know if they still got them, though, but I know all the old U.S. Postal Service trucks had an eagle on it. The eagle is America's symbol. The eagle was Rome's symbol. The eagle was the Greeks' symbol. You understand? The eagle was Germany's symbol. The eagle is, Esau has always made himself synonymous with the eagle. The Bible said that though he exalt himself as the eagle, you understand, he had tried to make his nest among the stars. That's talking about Esau once again. The first nation to go out of space was Russia. I don't know if y'all noticed, but Russians are white people.
Right.
You understand? They are white people. Russians are white. And the second nation to go out of space was America. America is a white nation. You understand? It's run by white people. The first two nations to go out and out of space were white. You understand? And they went out of space, and then they eventually established that Hubble, the International Space Station. You understand? They have literally set habitation in the sky, outer space, among the stars. The Lord said, "Thence will I bring thee down." And ever since then, brother, you'll see that this place has been falling. They said they went to the moon in 1969. Whether or not you believe they went to the moon or not is irrelevant. Whether or not you believe they went to the moon or not is irrelevant. What we do know is the Bible said that they will set their nest among the stars, and they have done so. You understand? And this place has been falling ever since. Go ahead, Shapat.
It's like, but you think about it, like they known since the time when we were following the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were here. They seen that we have a real God and we're powerful when God's on our side. But in it, you know, they know about. They should have known about the angels as well. And you know, like Leonardo painted a picture with the UFO in it.
Yeah.
So they've always known about the sources, the angels.
Yeah.
So you notice they're the only people who were trying to get out of space. They used to say, we gotta get out there. You know, there wasn't no East Indians, no Arabs trying to get out of space. It was like they read their destruction in this book and knew that they gotta try to do something to get one up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They've known about it since the Dark Ages. Like you said, you look at Leonardo da Vinci's drawings in his book. And Leonardo da Vinci had drawings of what we would call UFOs. You know, once again, there wasn't TV back then. Where did this is not something that he just imagined. These were things that they were seeing. The chariots of the Lord have existed since the biblical times. You understand? So what makes you think now that they didn't see it back in the middle, the Dark Ages? They did. And they were able to put two and two together. That these flying saucers, these flying rolls, these whirlwinds, these things that we seen and that we read in the Bible sound awfully familiar to these unknown things that are in the sky. And they were able to put two and two together, brother. And they are able to understand that the destruction of Babylon is the destruction of their people. They understand that. They understand that full well. Shell said, I tell them all the time, shave off the fur, monkeys are white. Yep. Darius said, Slack and said, will you brothers be in DC this Saturday after Sabbath service? Who was in DC this past weekend? I'm not sure, Darius. What you can do is either hit Captain Mashak or me on Wednesday. Tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Hit Captain Mashak or me on tomorrow. So we'll know for sure where we'll be this Saturday. Halak said the Green Pasture movie, all Negro cast, 27 years, right? You understand? The Green Pasture movie is the movie where they depict Moses and Abraham and the Most High as black men. They know the records. We the only ones that's fighting against it and not knowing. Right? Let's drop that. Now let's get to this topic because I want to get into this. Go ahead, Shapop.
So another thing I was just noticing again, every time I read Obadiah, it sounds awfully like the same thing in Isaiah 14 when it speaks of Lucifer.
Yeah.
How about how in his heart he thinks that he gonna sit up high and he gonna sit up on high, you know what I'm saying, amongst the stars, and nobody will bring him down, and then the Lord ends off saying, I'm gonna crush him. Right. It sounds like the same thing. Right. Precept upon precept.
That's right. Shell, yeah, we were there this weekend, as usual. And we didn't see you out there. I guess you missed us. You understand? But of course, we always out there. It just if the weather is permitting, we're gonna be out there. So that's why I said to know for sure. If the weather permits, we're gonna be out there as always, where we always at. You know what I'm saying? So now mass hysteria. If you could, Shapat, type in on Google mass hysteria. I'm going to get into why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans feel that they have to vote. And I'm going to blow your mind. It has nothing to do with change. It has nothing to do with policies. It has nothing to do with laws.
Come. I'm go ahead.
Yep.
Mass.
No sweat. We're just gonna get it. If y'all haven't done so, like and share the stream. Everybody type a fire emoji in the chat if you rocking and rolling with us. Type a fire emoji in the chat if you rocking and rolling with us.
What popped up was mass psychogenic illness.
Right. That's another name for it.
So read that.
Mm-hmm.
Constant. Phone like that too. You have to charge.
No sweat.
Mass psychogenic illness. Psychogenic.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it.
No sweat.
Mass psychogenic illness, also called sociogenic illness.
Right.
Mass psychogenic disorder, epidemic hysteria, or mass hysteria. Involves the spread of illness symptoms through a population where there is no infectious agent.
So now, just to break down what we read, mass hysteria, or also known as mass psychogenic illness, you understand, is illness that's spread amongst a population, but it doesn't have an infectious agent, meaning there is this illness is not a sickness like COVID-19. COVID-19 had a source. They said the source of COVID-19 was the spread of the virus from eating certain animals. They believe was the eating of pangolins and bats. Mass hysteria or mass psychogenic illness is a illness, a social disorder that has no cause, no infectious source, meaning it's not like it comes from one thing. Keep reading.
Involves a spread of illness symptoms through a population where there is no infectious agent responsible for contagion.
Mm-hmm.
It is the rapid spread of illness signs and symptoms affecting members of a cohesive group originating from a nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Disturbance involving excitation, loss, or acceleration of function whereby physical compliance that are exhibited unconsciously have no corresponding organic causes that are noticed.
Right. So now it's saying right here, mass hysteria affects members of a cohesive group originating from a nervous system disturbance involving excitation, loss, or alteration of function, whereby physical complaints are exhibited unconsciously. You understand? Meaning, so just to break that down in layman's terms, this is a phenomenon that occurs in a group that thinks the same, that believes the same, and it usually causes severe excitement, you understand, or delirium, where you now are overly excited or overly anxious. And what it does is it happens subconsciously. You understand me? It's not happening. When it's happening, you don't realize it's happening to you. You don't realize that you've been now you're affected by it. I'll give you a perfect example before we get to the election. Of course, the whole point is the election. I'll give you a better example. How many of you have ever felt the need to play the lottery when they always announce that the lottery is the largest it's ever been? Meaning, let me clarify. Meaning, if you're a person that does not normally play the numbers, you're a person that you don't normally play the numbers, but then you see news stories and you hear people talking about, you know how much the lottery is, you know how much they're giving away. How many of you have ever played the numbers when you've had that happen to you? I have. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have. Shapar said, "You haven't." And he said, "You never played it." Shapar said, "Me, yeah, me too." You understand? Like you sometimes. I ain't talking about some of y'all out there that's like my granny. My granny played the lottery every day. She bought cigarettes. She played her numbers. I'm not talking about those people because that's their normal thing. That's their normal function. I'm talking about those of us that never play the lottery otherwise until you hear about how much you hear other people in the news stories about how much money it is. It's the largest. The pot is the largest it's ever been in years, or you hear all the now excitement around it. Shell said, honestly, me and don't win nothing. You're not the only one. That's the best example I can give you. Derek said, I don't be knowing what numbers to play. If you go, they can give you random numbers. Just give this a little tip. If you wanted to play, you ain't got to have no numbers ready. They can just give you random numbers, give you a random ticket. That phenomenon, and you look it up, they'll tell you the reason why they announce on the news that the pot is so large is because it's meant to create that type of hysteria. Come on, I say, yes, sir, I'm broke, so I take my chance when I hear those high numbers. Listen, you're not the only one. Okay, Esau, he's very strategic, and he has studied this phenomenon, and so he understands. Okay, here's the psychology. What makes you think your chances of winning the lottery are better than they would normally be just because the pot is higher? Really think about that. How are your chances any better of winning the lottery just because the amount of money to win is more. Go ahead, Shapat.
I would think they would worsen.
Oh, that's the reality. Your chances of winning are less because now more people are trying to play, because everybody is now caught up in this mass hysteria that has affected you. That's the reality. But people play the lottery when they hear about the pot being so high and the news is announcing it, and then you hear other people talking about it. Now you have this phenomenon that goes with mass hysteria called the fear of missing out. You might have seen it abbreviated online as FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. With a mass hysteria, now you create this whole environment of anxiousness and excitation. And with that now, because you hear everybody talking about the lottery, talking about how large the pot is, you're seeing news stories about it, you see the billboards, you see the line in the gas stations, people getting numbers. Now what kicks in with that mass hysteria is the fear of missing out. Now you feel like I gotta play. I gotta play. You don't actually believe that your numbers, that your chances of winning is better. You just now the social, it's a social phenomenon. You understand? Let's give me a fear of missing out. Let's get that. Illuminato said it's when someone just wants to be a part of a group to feel accepted amongst the community. In essence, that's just what it is. You understand? But it's a very rooted psychological thing in people. And that's why being in the truth is such a great feat, because being in the truth causes you to separate yourself from these phenomena. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Shapat. Oh, whenever you get it, Salaki.
Fear of missing out, FOMO, is the feeling that others are having better experiences, living better lives, or having more fun than you. It can also involve a fear of regret and apprehension about missing out on information or life decisions that could improve your life.
Right. This fear of missing out is, once again, it's very straightforward. It's in the name. You feel like you have to now be a part of this because it's going to benefit you and everybody else is doing it. It's no different than if you go to a school, you go to a middle school, or you go to an elementary school and look at kids. If kids see everybody run over here to look at something, majority of the children are going to, they may not even know what's over there. Majority of kids are going to run to go look, and they don't even know what they're running to look at. That's that phenomenon at play. It's an innate response. It's a human response. Go ahead, Shapat.
Forget about it. Social media.
The social media is directly crafted around these phenomenons. Social media is crafted around mass hysteria and the fear of missing out. That's why the notifications are the way they are, because you constantly don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on what's happening. You don't want to miss out on what just happened or what's next or what somebody else seen, even though what's there, when you get to it, it's going to be there. But they create a sort of environment that a sort of what's the word? Not psychosis. I'll use the word I used. They created a Shalom, Judah 7:20. They create a certain environment that makes you feel like now, if you don't do it now, you're going to miss out. You know who else does that? Casinos. Casinos have been doing that long before social media. Shalom, Princess Aitara. That same feeling you get in the casino, where you got to get in the casino and you got to play, and you want to see what's going on. Even within the casino, you want to go to where you see other people are. You hear people yelling and celebrating in the casino. What just happened is fear of the people at the casino that I'm breaking down how it works. I gave you an example. I'm trying to give you as many examples as I can so you help you understand it. It's very simple though. And most of you probably already understand. Imagine you are in the casino and you're playing your own game, and then you hear a table a couple feet away, and everybody at the table is celebrating. What is happening there, the people at that table are under mass hysteria. The feeling that you now feel because you're not there is fear of missing out. So because of that, you go to that table. And once you go to the table, you are now under the same quote unquote illness that the people are at the table have. So now when everybody else celebrates, you celebrating too. Now, oh yeah, you don't even know the person rolling the dice, but you there, you getting happy and celebrating because of the mass hysteria. The fear of missing out and mass hysteria go hand in hand. And Esau needs them for you to, he needs you to rely, he relies on those two phenomenons to be able to run this place. It says, slide for my targets. No sweat. Shell said, let me tell you about my cousin. She won 2,000. Her stupid self played it all back, lost it. That's many of our stories for those of us that go to the casino and gamble, because now once you win money, you are already underneath the hysteria. And so once again, where you find hysteria, you find the fear of missing out. Because she's won money, she's already underneath the hysteria. So now the fear of missing out causes her to play that money because she can't miss out on the opportunity of getting more money. If you understand those two things, Esau applies that to almost every concept in society. They build off of those two things, the mass hysteria and then the fear of missing out, whether it's good or bad. So now, with the election, I'm going to go ahead and tie it to the election. Matthew said, the Lord gave me mass hysteria with finding the UPK. I don't want to miss the chariots. Listen, I hear that, brother.
Right. You
understand? Well said. You understand? I think we all got it in here.
Right.
With the election, the whole election season is meant to get people to feel and be infected by the mass hysteria. Here's the problem with that. People are now being forced and to care about something that they have absolutely no knowledge of. Type a 1 in the chat if you know what the Electoral College is and what it does. Type a 2 in the chat if you do not know what the Electoral College is and what they do. We just take a poll right here with who we have in the class. Type a 1 in the chat if you know what the Electoral College is and what is their function. Type a 2 if you don't know what the Electoral College is and what they do. I'm going to show you something. The reason why I take polls, they usually say you can get a better look at the whole number by doing small numbers, right? So Maria said 1. So she understands. Mario said 2. Shell said 2. Black Dazzle said 1. Matayad Darius said 1. Maria said they are the ones who decide who becomes president. Princess Aichara said 1. We got it. I'm going to ask a question to bring the point home, to prove the point. Judah 720 said 1. Princess Izarama said 1. All right, so anybody that typed in a 1 without looking this up, do not cheat. Everybody that typed a 2, let's watch this, y'all. Don't feel bad if you don't know. Everybody that typed a 2, watch this. Without looking this up, which number amendment is the Electoral College associated with? Don't look this up. Just type in, just off of your free knowledge, top of the head. What number amendment is the Electoral College associated with? It's taking long because they Googling Shabbat. That's what that is. They Googling. All the ones is Googling. Right. Princess Aitara said 12. Maria said that I do not know. Okay. Also the one y'all are laughing. Okay, let's see. Come on now. Well, I need anybody that typed the 1, I need you to answer. Black Dazzle said 12. Darius said 11 or 12. Judah 720 said, I don't know. I think y'all typed that in. I think y'all Google. But y'all said, I yield. Kev said 2. Now, if you don't know, that's okay. If you said 12, you are correct. It's the 12th Amendment. I only do that not to prove, not to necessarily, because of course we all know we don't give a damn about the voting, the Electoral College and all that. I only do that to show you that if I were to ask those same questions on the street, brother, they wouldn't perform as well as this chat room. That's why I love the UPK, because the UPK, brother, it makes us scholars. And so a lot of us are familiar with things that normally we wouldn't have been familiar with. If I ask those same questions on the street, brother, I'm willing to bet about 4 out of 10 will get it right. We'll get everything right. You said it again? I think so too. I want to say 2 out of 10. Right. That's what. But I'm gonna give them a chance. 3 out of 10 will get it right. I say that to say, the people that are voting that claim to care about what's happening and the results, and you got to vote because we got to change. They don't even know what the hell they're trying to change. They don't even know how the system works. They don't even know that their vote means nothing. Let me first give you a quick lesson on the Electoral College. The Electoral College, you got it? You go nice and loud, please.
The Electoral College is a set of electors who are selected to elect a candidate to particular offices. Often these represent different organizations, political parties, or entities, with each organization, political party, or entity represented by a particular number of electors, or with votes weighted in a particular way. The United States has been the only democracy in the 21st century that still uses an electoral college to select its executive president. The other democracies that use an electoral college, hold on. I lost respect. The other democracies that use an electoral college for these elections switched to direct elections in the 19th or 20th century.
To break down what he just said, Austin one y'all said, so basically they pick who's elected. Yes. Anybody that's trying to get you to vote, like Shell said, my family and friends get on me because I don't vote. Kev said, I've never voted for anyone in my life. Me neither. Good. Give him a hand. All right, give yourself a hand if you've never voted. You understand? Give yourself a hand if you've never been swept away by the mass hysteria every 4 years. Give yourself a hand, because it takes a lot of strength and fortitude to not be swept away into the illness of mass hysteria. It's designed to make you participate. Let me break down what Shapat just read. The United States is the only quote unquote democracy that still has an electoral college. The word democracy means government of the people. It's supposed to mean that the people choose their leaders. The problem is that's not the case in the United States. And that's why I just told you, any other nation that's a democracy, they are truly a democracy because their votes literally determine who is elected. So basically, how you think the United States election works is how the other nations, every other nation that's a democracy is how theirs work. You put your vote in, whoever has the most votes win. The United States doesn't work like that. The United States has a system called the popular vote and the electoral college. The popular vote is when all of us nobodies go out and vote, and then they tally those votes and they see who wins. And then after that, the Electoral College votes. And the Electoral College is selected based off of, it's a select number of electors. That, for a better term, you can call it a shadow government. You understand? That's really what it is. Many of us don't even know who these electors are, how many there are. You understand? How do you become an elector? Many of us don't even know any of that. So, for lack of a better phrase, you can call this a shadow government, a government that is really working behind the scenes, that controls everything. Right. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is what it really is. Go ahead, Shapa.
So like I said, in all actuality, when the people go out and vote, you can just call it a mock election.
It's a mock election. It's ceremonial. You understand? It's ceremonial. You ever see somebody get an honorary? You ever see a celebrity get an honorary degree from a college? It's not a real degree. You understand? That nigga didn't sit there for 4 years and take the autumn test and write all them essays. They gave them an honorary degree. It's just ceremonial. Go ahead, Shapa.
That's like the Sylvester Stallone is in the Boxing Hall of Fame for being Rocky, and he never fought a professional fight ever in his life.
Exactly. That's what it's like. You understand? That's exactly what it's like. Mario said, no matter how many times you vote, we steal nothing in this country, and they still treat us like crap. That's the fact. And anybody that can erase the lens of religion from their eyes can see that's the reality. It doesn't matter who you vote for, how many times you vote. Our conditions have been the same since 1776.
Right.
That's the truth. Since 1776, our conditions have been the same. Have there been small variations? Yeah. Of course, you took the chains off, took the yokes off. Of course, you now give us different titles and give us the illusion of having something, but our conditions, brother, have not changed. The fact that white man was able to go into that sister's house as a quote unquote law enforcement agent and kill that sister lets us know, it should tell us that nothing has changed. And we are exactly where our forefathers and foremothers were. So you have the popular vote, which is the main vote. You understand? You have where everybody votes. And then they tally the votes to see who has the most. And then after that, the Electoral College goes and what they can do is every state has a certain number of electors, and they can decide, I'm going to vote with my state, meaning I'm going to, for example, we are in the state of Maryland. I can't say DC because DC doesn't get a vote. We are in the state of Maryland. Maryland may vote majority Kamala Harris. The electors in the Electoral College can look at that and say, okay, so we're going to go along with the people in our state, and we're going to elect Kamala Harris for the state of Maryland as well. And so now Kamala Harris gets the Electoral College votes for Maryland. Or the electors in the Electoral College for Maryland can say, I know the people voted for Kamala Harris. We're not doing that. We vote Donald Trump for Maryland. Guess what? All of you Chuck Taylors and Pearls that voted for Kamala Harris, it means nothing. If this small group of people decide that they want to vote for Donald Trump. And guess what? You don't act like that doesn't happen. It has happened already twice recently. The election with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, guess what? Who won the popular vote? Since everybody's so political, y'all should be knowing this. Who won the popular vote? Go ahead, Shapat. Who won the mock election? Who won that? The ceremonial one. Akira said, I knew my vote never counted since before I was able to register to vote. Yeah, same here. Same here. My pops told me that as a kid. That don't do nothing, man. Your vote don't count. I don't do nothing. And I believed him, and he was right. Right. And I never voted, and I'm glad. You understand? Hillary Clinton won the popular vote in 2016, meaning Hillary Clinton won the majority of the votes of the people. Majority of people in America voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. Guess what? That's right, Black Dazzle, Hillary. Guess what? The Electoral College chose Donald Trump. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all remember 2016. Y'all remember how everybody on the news was stunned and shocked? That's because the Electoral College went against what the people chose. Hillary clearly won the popular vote. The Electoral College chose Donald Trump, and that's why all those political pundits and correspondents on the news channels the next day were like, all the numbers said Hillary was going to win. And all the numbers did say she won, but the Electoral College gets to say. They're the ones that actually make the decision. You are given the illusion of choice. You're given the illusion of choice because America understands very well that the moment people believe they don't have a say-so in their government, they don't follow the government. They don't believe in the government. History has shown so. History has shown the moment that people don't get it, if people don't feel like they have a say-so in their government, they overthrow said government. And that's why America, learning from Great Britain and France and what has happened in Europe for hundreds of years, they chose not to be a monarchy because they've seen quite often monarchies come to a violent end. Because how does a monarchy work? Shapat?
You got one ruler.
One ruler, and how's that ruler decided?
On his own.
Yeah, no, not quite.
Oh, you said a monarchy.
Yeah, monarchy.
Oh, he's born into it.
Yeah, it's passed down.
Gosh.
The people get no say in the monarchy. You have the king, and then whatever son that the king chooses, he gets it. It's usually the firstborn, and then whoever son that he has, he gets it, and it keeps going, and the power stays within that family. And what the founding fathers of America realized is those type of situations, the people overthrow the government a lot faster. You understand? Because they understand that people, whenever they feel like they don't have a say-so with who's over them, people are more likely to overthrow the government much faster. Go ahead, Shapat.
I remember I was doing some Uber some years back, right? And it's like 2015 or something. And I had an Iraqi in my car. So I was asking them how they feel about the United States being in their country. And they was like, they absolutely hate it, and they didn't hate Saddam Hussein.
Right. But the media will tell you they hated Saddam.
Right.
The United States is so busy trying to spread democracy when the United States is not even a democracy. That's not a democracy. Whenever the people are not choosing the leader, a democracy is the people choosing the leader. The people don't choose in the United States. 2016 is a perfect case of that. The shadow government chose. Another case of that was when Al Gore was running for president in 2000 against George W. Bush. Al Gore won the majority of the votes, the popular vote. The Electoral College chose George W. Bush. You understand? That Electoral College is who decides who becomes president. And it's even more reason onto why you should not vote. Anybody that tells you your vote counts is uneducated, is unlearned, and they're trying to infect you with mass hysteria. Don't be infected by the whole exciting and the excitation and delirium. Don't be swept with the crowd. It's a wave, and they want you to be swept in the wave where now you feel like you have to pick a side. You got to pick a side. Why? Nobody understand why. Why do I have to pick a side? You don't. You understand? There's a third option, and it's the only option that Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans have, and it's Christ. Go ahead, Shapat.
This is my dilemma with all that, right? Like, I can always give somebody information enough where they realize that, okay, these are you trying to pick between the best of two evils.
Right.
Or Christmas is not the birth of Christ. But they say they know. They know it.
Right.
But they always decide to do it anyway. And they be like, it's just because of this, it'd be something real slight.
Right.
Like you said, property taxes
Mhm.
for the government, and when they come to Christ, they be like, "Oh, we just like to get with family."
Right.
What do you do for that? Because they know a lot of these things, not in detail, but they know they're not doing it for the purpose that everybody's supposed to be hyping, but they do it anyway.
That's part of the illness, where you get caught up in something and you don't even realize how you got here. It's the wave. You get caught up in the wave and you don't even realize, okay, damn, I just wanted to participate, but I didn't know this was part of being in the wave. Once you get swept up in the tide, brother, you go wherever the tide goes. You could have started right here. Once you let the tide sweep you, you can end up completely over here. And that's why it's so important not to be invested in politics, because politics will take your focus from where it's supposed to be. You understand? Your focus is supposed to be here. You get into that wave of the mass hysteria of wanting to participate in the politics and the election, you'll realize that you've now been swept away somewhere else that has nothing to do with anything. You have forgotten all about your people. And let me mark my words, I'm seeing it already. So many black women, brother, are going to turn on black men because of this Kamala Harris. The same black women that claim to love black people, the same black women that claim to be for their people and pro-black, you're going to see these black women turn on their community, turn on their brothers for the sake of being swept away in the tide. Now, once again, these are sisters that a lot of them are not intentionally most black women are not voting for Kamala Harris to turn their back on their brothers. Most black women are supporting Kamala Harris because they're getting swept in the mass hysteria of believing we got to support a black woman. We got to participate. We got to support a black woman. And as they're getting swept up in it, what's happening is now they're being pushed and swept somewhere else. And what that end result is, you completely disregarding your community and your community's issues. And so now you're just supporting something off of the simple fact that you believe she's a black woman. She's a woman and you believe she's a black woman. She's an AKA. She went to Howard. Now it has nothing to do with issues. It never did. It has nothing to do with policies. It has nothing to do with issues. You know what another one is? And this is what they've been using the past 2 election cycles. A lot of people will just vote against Trump. And I'll make no mistake about it, if y'all watching, we don't support Trump. Trump is an old orange bastard.
Right.
Old Cheeto puff. We don't support Donald Trump. We don't support Joe Biden. We don't support any politician or candidate. We support Christ. We campaign for Christ. I want to put that out there before I say this. With that being said, if you notice, there's a certain mass hysteria that is meant to get people to feel like we got to get anybody but Trump. That's what it's boiled down to. And that's why so many people was going to vote for Joe Biden, even though everybody felt like he wasn't qualified because he's damn near senile. But everybody's been feeling like, well, look, anybody but him, anybody but Donald Trump. So at this point now, it ain't about issues and policies. It has nothing to do with laws and issues and policies and all those things you claim to know and care about. It's just about you getting caught up in the wave. And the wave is anybody but him. It's the same thing now. And many of you are still in that wave. And because of it, you're going to drown. That's the problem with the tidal wave. Most people drown. Go ahead, Shapat.
So like on the flip side, just speaking from the black people side, if you go on the other side of it, white people, saying, if anything to me, they may not like Trump, but one thing they do agree on is we don't like black people.
Right.
So, I would think that they would like, we do anything. We'll take Trump over having a black woman, you know what I'm saying, in the office.
That's right. And that's one thing Esau understands. They understand how to rally together for the sake of their people. That's something that we don't know how to do. And it's very unfortunate because we are being consumed and destroyed left and right. If you could, Shapat, get me Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. That's right, Shapar. We as a people fall for everything but the truth. It makes me sick. It makes me. Did we read Israel? Did we read Jeremiah 2:14?
We read the first part of it.
We need to go back to that after this. If you could read what you got, priest.
Oh, God. You said 17, right?
Yep, 17 and 15.
Oh, God. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
Stop. This is the first step with us having a people. Now, once again, if you white, this is not talking to you. If you white, you better go out and vote. God damn it, you better be a good American. You go out there and you vote. You go out there and vote, damn it. It's your American civil responsibility and civic duty to vote. But of course, this Bible is not talking to white people. You understand? This Bible is talking to the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, your so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Lord has given us the prerequisites and the requirements on who should be over us, who should be a king, a leader over us. The first one is the Lord says, what?
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
That's the first step. Anybody that's over us, God has to choose them. And that's the problem with your election. God is not nowhere in that election. Nowhere. You think God is with any politician? If y'all think God is with a politician, give me one. Give me who? And don't say Donald Trump. You can say Donald Trump. I know Ryan, you're going to say the almighty Trump. Come on, Ryan. Come with it. Come on with it, Ryan. Cry baby self. In the comments, crying and complaining. If God is with any politician, what politician is he with? Give me somebody. If you believe God is in politics, what politician do you believe God is with? I'm not asking. It's a difference what I'm asking. I'm not asking what politician you think is with God or serves God. I'm asking a different question. I'm asking you, what politician do you think God is with? Yeah, see, that's the problem. If you can't easily say what politician God is with, then what the F are we talking about? Is God with Kamala Harris? Is God with Donald Trump? Is God with Joe Biden? Nah, man. Nah. Let's be for real. That's the first requirement for the children of Israel for us to have a leader. Our Holy Father has to choose him. You understand? The Most High God, Yahweh in the Bible, Jehovah in the English translation, he has to choose him. And that's the problem why we've been voting and nothing has changed, because the Lord did not choose a politician to raise us up. The Lord did not choose a politician to save us. The Lord did not choose a politician to fix our conditions. That's just not the case. Keep reading.
Oh, God. One from among thy brethren.
This is the second requirement. The first requirement is the Lord has to choose him. The second requirement is he has to be from our people, one of our brothers. This means every single United States president that has ever existed could not have possibly been our leader because they were not of our nation.
Right.
You cannot have a person that's not from your nation rule over you. And if you weren't such a effing slave, you can understand how practical that is. How can somebody that's not from your people represent your interest? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And that's why America's political system by default was created to be broken. You understand? Because anybody outside of white men, outside of white people, the president is not for you. Excuse me. Why do you think white people were so scared and angry when Barack Obama got elected? Because white people understand that. White people understand a non-white person shouldn't rule over us. They understand it. They don't have the, and listen, they devils. They don't have the truth, but they understand the practicality of power. They didn't want some non-white person ruling over them because they know he's going to have, if anybody remembers, type this in the chat. And let's do it quick. The class almost over. What was those racist white people's main concern with Barack Obama, if y'all can remember? Anybody that remembers, what was their outside of him being what they thought was black, what was their main concern with Barack Obama? All the racist white people. Shapat?
I'm guessing, but he was going to give reparations.
Okay, kind of, but there was something bigger than that. There was something that you talk to racist white people still to this day. You go look up footages of the debate. Racist white people, they were concerned about something very specific from Barack Obama. Nobody remembers, huh? No sweat. No, so I'm gonna have to give it to you for time's sake. You was close for sure. They were afraid that Barack Obama was now going to side with all the Muslim nations because his father was a Kenyan Muslim. In other words, they were afraid that Barack Obama was going to side with, quote unquote, his people. That's what they're afraid of. They were literally afraid that was the whole thing. Barack Obama, the Muslim. They was talking about his middle name, Hussein. Hussein. We got a president whose middle name is Hussein. Yeah, brother, forget about it. They were scared that white people were scared that Barack Obama was going to side with all the Muslim Arabic nations because Barack Obama's father was a Kenyan Muslim. And so because of that, they did not trust Barack Obama leading over them. And really, that makes sense because that's what Barack Obama did. Barack Obama showed more, what's the word I'm looking for? He showed more leadway to those Muslim nations than any other president. The Lord has given us this Bible, these records for practical knowledge. You can't put somebody over you that's not from your people because their first loyalty is going to be with their people. That's just what it is. And white people understood that, and they did not want Barack Obama as president. Keep reading.
Okay. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
The Lord is telling us this is a law. This is a law. This is something that you don't have an option to now decide. This is something that we have to follow. We are not allowed to set a stranger over us, meaning anybody outside of Black, Hispanic, or Native American, they are not allowed to rule over us. It's against God for anybody outside of Israelite to rule over the children of Israel. Kamala Harris is not a Black woman. Kamala Harris is a white woman that cosplays a Black woman that was raised by an East Indian woman. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat. Yeah, do your thing. Kamala Harris is not one of us. She's not a sister. Kamala Harris's father, her great grandfather was a white man. Her father's father was a white man. Understand? So that whole thing that she's Black, she's Jamaican, that's not true. Kamala Harris's father was an Irish man living in Jamaica that owned slaves and that now married a Black Jamaican woman. You understand? That's where she comes from. Kamala Harris's father is the product of a white man marrying a Jamaican woman. The same with Bob Marley. And so now this whole idea that we got to support our sister and we got to support Black. She's not Black. She's not our sister. Nor did the Lord choose her. Nor can you rely on the same place that has enslaved us for justice. You would be a fool to rely on America for justice when America has built this entire nation on being unjust towards us. You understand? That's right, Mario. Obama opened all them doors for the LGBTQ. Yeah. He did more for the gay community than he did for black people. And I remember, listen, they say hindsight is 2020. Anybody that's trying to tell you to vote for either one, remember them. Make a list and write down everybody's name that's trying to get you to vote. And especially the ones that's trying to shame you for voting. And what you do is, after whoever gets in office, you rub it in their face. You rub it in their face like, didn't I tell you nothing was going to change? Didn't I tell you this was going to happen? Because this was exactly what happened with Obama. Many of you thought Obama was going to be your Lord and Savior. You thought Barack Obama was going to be your Lord and Savior. And Barack Obama came and he got 8 years in office. And what did Barack Obama do for us? Seriously. Like, if he did something for you that I don't know about, because once again, if you're a rich Black, Hispanic, or Native American, there may be certain policies that he did for you that benefited you. I'm not a rich Black man. So tell me, what did Barack Obama do for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? If he did anything for you, let me know. He had 8 years. So what did he do for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Type in the chat. Go ahead, Shapat.
He did something for me.
What did he do for you?
Well, I was never of the LGBTQ, but I did used to be a smoker.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say that, like kids in the room.
Right. See?
I was a smoker, and he made it legal for me to smoke. You know what I'm saying? And now, with trickled off of that, you got some states where it's legal to use all drugs.
Yes. You see that? The one thing that we can try to say that was for us is really against us.
Right.
You understand? Because the legalization of weed has done more harm to our community than it has ever done. Now, all of our kids, brother, are smoking weed like it's candy. All of them. The brother I always talk about, Officer Nwanyala down in Florida, is probably the only one in his damn high school that doesn't get high. When it wasn't like that when we was in school. You understand? It was certain people got high, and then that's just what it was. But if everybody got high, that he wasn't like that. But it's like that now because Barack Obama legalized weed. Barack Obama has done nothing for our people. Kamala Harris will do nothing. Mark my words. And she's going to embarrass you dumb sisters.
Right.
You dumb broads. You believe that she's going to do anything for you? I hope she get in so she can let every last one of you dumb broads down. Any one of you sisters that gave that snake-eating Edomite some money and for her to amount to $50 million, any one of you sisters that gave her money, I hope she gets elected so you can see she played your dummy. I can't even say what I want to say. She played you. She played you, man. She finessed you. She hustled you just like everybody else does because you're naive. You're naive. So everybody plays you. Everybody gets what they want out of you, and then they play you, just like all your baby fathers. You understand? Just like all the people you done been with. You understand? Everybody plays you, and they get what they want out of you, and then they leave you and discard you. When the hell are you going to stop being played, dummy? When the hell are you going to stop being manipulated and used? When are you going to get some sense in your mind and say, I'm tired of being used? Let me now look at this a different way. Let me now position myself to where I'm not manipulated. The way you do that is you come in here under righteous men, and any sister in here is not allowed to be manipulated. If you a sister in here and you got manipulated and used, it's because you don't contact your camp leader.
Right.
Because the Lord has established the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General Yahanna to make sure women are protected, to make sure women aren't manipulated into destroying themselves and used and abused. Officer Nwanyala said, Khan, it's absolutely terrible. It's a damn pandemic. Even with liquor, these kids my age, especially the females, are getting drunk almost every weekend. I'm already knowing. Now I can't be a hypocrite. We was getting drunk too. You understand? The alcohol, we was into the alcohol, but when I was in school, weed wasn't popular like it is now. That's what that crowd does, but it wasn't the whole school was getting high. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat.
Like every high school I went to, Everybody was getting high.
I think because it might have been your crowd. It's hard to see outside your crowd because that was your crowd. It's like once again, your world. It was like your world was getting high, but there was a world outside of your world in school. Go ahead.
So like I said, it was to the point though, I wasn't thinking like that because when I played the football team, you know what I'm saying, come to find out the whole football team smoked and they didn't know I smoked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But like everybody that I knew in my school, it was a thing. Like everybody smoked. The bathroom, all the bathrooms had everybody in it, and while class was going on, everybody was smoking.
Right. You understand? Our people are destroyed from following after Esau's culture. The sister Nayam said, not a damn thing. You understand? Barack Obama did nothing for us.
Right.
No politician. Once again, it's a lazy thing to think somebody all the way in our office is going to affect change in your life right here. You understand? That's why there's a UPK school in every city near you, because you need brothers that can affect change right there. You understand? These politicians, brother, they can't affect change from where they are, and they're not in the business to affect change. Don't get played, man. Like, please, don't be another sucker. You understand? Politics is a game of manipulation. It's a game of mass hysteria. It's a game of snakes, and you're a mouse trying to play in the game of snakes. You understand? With that, everybody type in the chat. Type your tribe in the chat as we get out. I ain't did that in a minute. Just type a 1W and type your tribe in the chat. You understand? Everybody type your tribe in the chat. I ain't did that in a minute. I'm gonna try to read some of these off before we get out of here. You understand? With that, we're gonna pass the class off to Priest and Officer Shapat Yak. Type your tribe in the chat. I'm gonna read some of these off after he does the announcements. You understand?
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We at I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, are the Commander General Yahanna. New rules for rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, Memorial blowing of trumpets, first day of the 7th month, Wednesday the 2nd of October, 2024. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. Also, we're still in I.S.U.P.K cookout season. Coming up next, the Midwest Fire Weekend in Detroit, August the 1st through the 4th. Then we got the headquarters cookout in New York, August the 30th through September the 2nd. Then we go to the I.S.U.P.K on the west side. We got the Southern County Cookout, September the 26th through the 29th. Then we got the down South Houston Cookout, October the 31st through November the 3rd. You not have done so already, make your travel arrangements and book your hotels. You got anything else you want to answer?
No, you too wild, Priest.
Okay. Remember, Akme and check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a troop in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black hairband or scarf. And with that, I say I might you, which means to stand. Give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Individual Imam Shabbat, you might you. We're up. Yahanna Shimi Abshabrakata.
Yahanna Shimi Abshabrakata.
Yah Yamatar, class dismissed.
All right. Let me read some of these tribes real quick. We got Shapar, 1 West Yahawada is Hebrew for Judah. You understand? Judah, the tribe of Judah are your so-called Negroes, your so-called black people. Arawadia, 1 West Gad in the Hebrew, God. You understand? Those are your North American Indians. If you are a North American Indian, you are the tribe of Gad, according to the Bible. Maria, 1 West Aparium. Aparium is Hebrew for Ephraim. You understand? And the tribe of Ephraim are your so-called Puerto Ricans today. You understand? If you're Puerto Rican, you are the tribe of Ephraim. Mario Dominguez, 1 West is Zabalawan. Zabalawan is Hebrew for Zebulun. And if you are the tribe of Zebulun, that's from Panama to Guatemala. You understand? From Panama to Guatemala. You understand? That's the tribe of Zebulun. Illuminato, 1 West Issachar. Issachar in the Hebrew, Yashakar. And that's your so-called Mexicans. If you are Mexican, you are the tribe of Issachar. Kev, 1 West Yahawadah, which is Judah. You understand? And the tribe of Judah are your so-called Negroes. Akira, Yahawadah, that's Judah as well. The tribe of your so-called Negroes. You understand? Like as always, Israel, like, share, subscribe. Let's push this truth, man. And pray for that sister's family, Sonia Massey, man. Pray for Israel. You understand? Nayam, 1 West Gad. Gad is your so-called North American Indians. If you are North American Indian, you are the tribe of Gad. Go ahead, Shapat.
That's a lot. Most time crazy because I'm sitting there listening to the rundown. It wasn't just all Judah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got the 12 tribes up in here.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get even better, too, brother. You understand? Y'all like and share the stream. Until next time, Israel, shalom. We out of here.